Cameras on?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. This is Rav Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. This is the second shir of the day, Mishna Berura. We're located in Yerushalayim Kodesh, not too far from the central bus station. So you can walk from there, take a bus, drive, and if you're coming from Chutzlar, please fly on in and join us for our shir.
This is cute, and then it's Kufchaf.
We're in Mishna Berura now in Orach Chaim.
And got to owe it to the Kufchaf.
Kufchaf
That's the next letter.
Siv
That base. You have it where you put it there? There.
Yeah, Lauren, you'd like to?
Sure.
I can read in the middle. Let's go through the Mechaber and the Ramah again, which we did, and then we'll go back into the Mishna Berura.
Imo hafsik anos kaddish kedusha. If you come to have an interruption to answer for kaddish or kedusha, bein Shmona Esrei, when you're in Shmona Esrei, between Shmona Esrei, the Yuratzon and the Yuratzon eno posek. You don't interrupt there. She Yuratzon miklal tefillah, because Yuratzon is part of tefillah. Alvim Yuratzon l'shar tachnunim shabadomi. But between the Yuratzon and the other tachanunim, then it is permitted to make interruptions there.
Okay, so just to remember the Mechaber Shita, right, up until the end of that pasuk, Yiratzon, you're still in the middle of Shmona Esrei, right? So all the laws of not making any interruptions apply until you say Yiratzon. And then if you're in the middle of the Bakashas, supplications, which you're saying at the after that pasuk Yiratzon, then you can make your interruptions. Okay, now let's see the Mechaber, the Ramah.
Dafka b'makom shenogim lomer Yiratzon miyad akar tefillah. And this is specifically in the place where the custom is to say Yiratzon right after Shemona Esrei. Although b'makom shenohagim lomer hasleim kodem Yiratzon, but in the places where the custom is to say something else, say tachnunim before Yiratzon, mafsif gamkein the Kaddish or Kedusha. You can interrupt there, also for Kaddish or Kedusha. Interrupt in the Tachnunim.
Before you say your
Yiratzon.
Before you say the Yiratzon in the Tachnunim, it's a very big Kiddush and very different than the Mechaber Shita. Because even though you're saying Tachnunim even on a regular basis, and we'll see in the Ramah in the next point of the Ramah. Let's see the next part of the Ramah.
In these places, we are knowing to interrupt inside Elokai Nitzur before you get to Yiratzon at the end of Elokai Nitzur. L'chein mafsikin gamkein l'kedusha u'l'kadosh u'l'baruch hu. And therefore, you can interrupt there for kedusha or for kadosh or for baruch hu.
Okay, yeah. So up until this point, it seems like there are two very different approaches to the Yiratzon. And according to the Mechaber again, until you say Yiratzon, you're in the middle of your Shmona Esrei, right? And therefore, you can't make any interruptions whatsoever. According to the Ramah, he brings down two minhagim, that there are those that say Tachanunim, and then there's another minhag that basically what we do, that we say a specific Elokai Nitzur, right? So therefore, if a person's in those places or is accustomed to say these supplications, before the Yiratzon, he can make a break for Kaddish, Kedusha, or Baruch Hu, right? Now, so it seems like they're taking two different approaches to what the Yiratzon is actually doing here. According to the Mechaber, until you say Yiratzon, right, you've got yourself...
You're still in Shemona Esrei.
In Shemona Esrei, right?
And the
Ramah says no.
Once you finish Shalom, once you get to Shalom, you're done.
If you start saying Tachanunim, so then it's like you're somewhere else exactly. But then the Yiratzon is not necessarily an end to your Shemona Esrei. You couldn't finish the prayer. Now let's just take a look at the Mechaber. Go right with the Mechaber.
Okay.
Mechaber is Yosef Cairo?
Yes, exactly. So because now you're going to see that the Mechaber is going to shift somewhat towards the Ramah.
Mihu, however.
Yes, however.
However, Harogel Lomer Tachunim Acher Tefilasa. People who are accustomed to say supplications after their tefillah, Hichil Hashlir Sibur L'Saider Tefilasa. If the Shlir Sibur begins his repetition of the Shemona Esrei, the Yigil Kaddish or Kedusha, and he gets to a Kaddish or Kedusha, Mekatir V'Olah, the person who's saying Tachnunim at this point should limit what he's saying, V'Olah, and get up.
Literally, what do you mean? The Ola, we'll have to see what that exactly means.
Okay.
Right?
The Lokatzer, that if he's not able to shorten, or he does not shorten his Tachnunim, Yachol Hafsid Kederach Shamachsid V'Bracha Shel Kriyashma, it is permitted to interrupt in the same way you can interrupt during the Kriyashma, Afilu B'Emtza, which is even in the middle of a pasuk.
Right, and in the middle of your Tachanunim, right? So that's even without having said the Yidro Tzom. So the first part of the Mechaber is when a person doesn't say any Tachanunim, right?
Right.
At all. But if a person's going to be accustomed to say Tachanunim, right? So then he really has the same halacha as the Ramah, l'chora for all intents and purposes.
But he already said you lower tzon.
No, he said not.
In the second
part,
from the
second
mihu,
part
from the
of
mihu, part, from the
Mechaber.
mihu from the mihu in the Machabi, he didn't mention anything about either Ratzon.
It says, Harod Lomer Tachnunim Akat Tefillah also means before you Ratzon, because after you Ratzon is no big deal. So it's got to be before you Ratzon.
It's a chiddush because the way we would with the way we
Read the first part.
understood the first part of the Machaber was, look, until you say L'Hid Ratzon, you're limited to Esrei, and obviously you can't make any break, right? But now, if a person's struggled to say Takanunim, Achid Tefillah, so
But he's already, but the fact you're saying Tachnunim, you're already indicating that you're done with your Shemon Esrei.
If you
so
say
that-
Tachanunim, then you said the Yiratzon, because Yiratzon, we say the first Yirah before the Tachanunim.
No, but he's saying the case of, that wasn't necessarily the case.
By us, you say you Yiratzon first, and then we start the
Okay.
Tachanun is Elokai Tzor.
right.
So to schedule, you already said the
Right,
Yiratzon,
okay,
so
good, fine, but just the words of the Mechaber right now, okay? Just the words of the Mechaber in this.
no, but
in the first part.
you can't say that because if you have to go by the first part.
Let's see. Go ahead, read it out. I mean,
When do we finish Monestre over here?
oh,
That's the whole question of it.
so that is the big question. When is Shmona Esrei finished? Kol Zman, the whole time that you're in Shmona Esrei, you can't answer to anything.
Right.
Okay, that's number one. That was Kuf Daled we started last week, right? Kuf Daled, no interruptions to Shmona Esrei. That's it. And now, but if you're going to say Tachanunim, meaning you want to say, Kadosh Baruch Hu, I need a new pair of shoes. Let me be able to find a new good pair of shoes, right? So where are you going to say that?
after Yiratzon, if you want to ask like that. But according to the Mechaber, after the Yiratzon, when you say the Tachanunim.
But why do I have to say the Hidro Tzon to ask for a new pair of shoes?
Because according to the Mechaber,
Right.
Yiratzon, he said in the beginning, if Bala Avsek Ulanat Kaddish Kedusha Ben Shmonesha, then you Eno Posek.
Right, but
That's how he started.
Right.
So now you say Tachanunim. So according to the second part, if you're saying Tachanunim, you already said the first part.
he said, however, it's however. However is the important word. However,
Haragi Lomar
Achet Tefillah.
Achet Tefillah, meaning you finish Yularatson,
No.
because by him you
If you-
finish Yularatson.
If you say Yiratzon, then this whole second phrase doesn't make any sense.
Of
It's not
course it
needed.
does.
No, it's not needed. It's not. If you say Yiratzon, you can say anything you want. You're
No,
done.
you can't. You can
Sure
only
you can.
say 4 things according to
Okay,
him.
okay. Let's
No, after
let's
you're
look at
watching, you
let's
say
look at from
anything.
this point of view. Now, there are two kinds of things you want to say. You want to answer Kaddish Kedusha Baruch Hu.
Right.
That's one type of thing.
Right.
Right. Another thing is you want to say Tachanunim.
Right.
Right. What do you think has more shaykhs to your Shmona Esrei?
Amen.
No.
To my personal Shmonesha,
Yeah.
my Tachanunim.
You're Tachanunim.
Okay.
That's your prayer.
That's my prayer.
That's my prayer.
Okay, yes.
Right. Kaddish Kedusha.
That's right.
That's
It's
what
part
the
of the
Shliach
Shmonesha.
was saying, right?
Okay.
What does that have to do with me? I have a chiyuv to answer in the cases where I have a chiyuv to answer, but I have nothing to do with my Shemon Esrei, right? Right. So that's a hefsek, right? But if I want to ask for shoes, in theory, I could even ask for shoes in Shmar Koleinu,
Right.
right? Right. That's not a hefsek in my Shemon Esrei.
Right.
That's some people are going to say, I need shoes in Shmar Koleinu. Why
Okay.
not? Right. So that's not a hefsek in my Shemon Esrei, right? So therefore, why do I want to? If you understand the pasuk Yiratzon is a final end to my Shemona Esrei. Why do I do that if I want to ask for shoes? I want to ask for shoes, but talk my Shemona Esrei.
To do it Shmakalayna.
Maybe it's better to do it after the Shalom. Maybe it's Shmakalayna is not always the best place to do. You can, and many people do, right? But maybe
According to the Machaber, once you start saying Tachanunim, it's after Yula Ratzon. You're not going to say. You're not going to. I mean, they make it clear. You're not going to say it after Sim Shalom. You're not going to say Tachanunim. You're going to say Baruch Atah Hashem Baruch Samayis Rabba Shalom. Amen. Yula Ratzon, and then you start Tachanunim. That's according to the Mechaber. That. Look at any Sephardic Siddur. That's the way it goes.
No, it's all written there. There's no question about it. It's all written. The Yidrotzon is written right after the Sim Shalom. Right?
Okay, so.
But however, right? However, what do you do on Erev Yom Kippur?
I didn't look it up. I was going to look it up. I forgot.
Okay.
I'm honest. I
No,
forgot.
okay, no, okay. No, because that's also part of the issue over here. Do you want your Al-Kate Shuvidi in Shmon Esrei?
Right.
Okay.
I remember. I forgot to check.
Yeah, and that goes for all the tefillos on Yom Kippur as well. It's not just on Erev Yom Kippur.
Right.
But again, Kaddish Kedusha Baruch Hu, nothing to do with my Shmon Esrei, right?
So you're saying that the Mechaber is saying in the second part of this that he can answer these things
Actually,
without saying you learn something.
I take back everything I said. I just read the.
Well, okay, hold on. Again, we're not. One thing you're tell. What did the words of the
I
Mechaber
understand
mean?
what the words say.
Okay,
But
what do the words say?
the words in the Mechaber
Right.
implies you're not saying your odds.
You're not right. Is
Okay,
that clear? No, just the words of when it says mihu. However,
I don't understand it that way. I'm having a hard time. I just don't want to argue. I'm having a hard time because if you're saying Tachanunim, according to the Sephardic sheet, if you say Tachanunim, you already said Yula Ratzon. You're not going to say Tachanunim before Yula Ratzon. So that's why I don't understand.
Yeah, but
how we would come to think that you're not saying it.
But that's your. But Nusach Sfard is not.
That's what but he's Sephardi. I mean,
I understand,
but Nusach not. There are lots of versions of Nusach Sfard.
There's no question about it.
There's much more varied than
100%.
Ashkenaz.
100%.
Okay, so it's possible.
100%.
It is certainly possible that somebody else in Nusach Sfard might do it differently.
And I'm going
Okay.
to check it out.
Okay.
no. Okay, very good, perfect.
But
just in theory,
if you read the Mishna Berura, it's like you said.
Okay,
but in
because it
theory,
doesn't make sense because you're step 2 before doing step 1. That's why it doesn't
Well,
make sense
no.
to me.
It sounds when you read the Mihu, it sounds like the Mechaber is saying similar to what the Ramah said.
No, mihu meaning because he said tachanunim. Haragi loma tachanunim. You see, to me, it doesn't make sense.
Let's learn it like this. Remember, the Beis Yosef
Sorry.
wrote the Shulchan Aruch without the Ramah. Okay, the
Right.
Ramah came later and it
Right.
was interjected. Right.
Right.
In the Fust that we have,
Right.
we have the Mechaber and the Ramah.
Then it's even easier to understand
let's
that you
just
said
read-
you learn son.
Go ahead, read the Mechaber, skip the Ramah. Let's just learn the Mechaber.
Im ba lehavsik v'lanot kaddish u'tusha ben shmona esrei le'yila ratzon
So
ain't a
we-
posel. So
we-
you don't stop.
Right. So if there's something's happening in the minyan that you're in, and you should, in theory, be answering Kaddish Kedusha between the Shmon Esrei and the
Yila
Yidrotzon.
Ratzon.
Do not
Okay.
interrupt.
So yila ratzon miklal atfilah because just part of tefillah.
Because that is part of your Shmon Esrei. So
Aval.
until you mashma, until you said
The Yila Ratzon, you're still in
Shmon
Shmon Esrei. Ava ben yila ratzon lishar tachanunim shapidami between yila ratzon and the tachanunim you can't stop.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
So umihu, but however, lomar tachanunim achar tefillah. To say tachanunim after the tefillah means you said yila ratzon.
No.
Of course you did.
No.
Of
That's not
course
English.
you did.
You don't understand it? No.
Okay,
No.
well,
You don't need the however. You don't need the however. The word however changes the whole meaning. You already said after you say the wrong so you can say Tachanun.
Maybe.
However, if you say Tachanun beforehand, that's the only reason however makes sense. If you don't need the however if you're talking about after
I
the
hear
Ratzon.
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
However, if you read the Mishna Berura, he goes
Okay.
like you.
No, so
Okay.
so let's just get
Okay,
this
fine.
mihu harigir lo oimer tachanunim also. The one who is accustomed to say tachanunim after his tefillah.
That's right. Mitchilah shel yatziba l'sadeh tfilato, and he says Yosef started to say the Chazara. V'higia lekadish u'kedusha. Mekatzer ve'ola, he shortens, he catches up to it.
Let me ask you something, why does he have to do that?
What? Because we said that until you said the second Yiyula, so you can only answer four things.
Well, we haven't said anything about two Yerutzos. You said something about two Yerutzos. We didn't say anything. Machaber didn't mention about two Yerutzos.
Okay, so then I guess I'm talking from by heart. I'm admitting I have a problem talking by heart.
No,
Okay.
No,
First step is just learning, right? We're learning. Well, what do the words say? What do I have to make concert for? What do I have to hurry up for? I want to ask for shoes and a new car. So why have to skip the car and just say ask for the shoes?
more important than the shoes.
Right?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand. I'm not clear what the Mishna Machaber is talking about. What's this? Right? Im hitkel shlias yigol asarek tfiloso v'yigia lekadosh kedusha. Right? Mikatzer v'oila. What it means, oil is another thing, right? Mikatzer, you should condense
Like you do in Kriya and Kriya Shema, right? Kedera Shemasa B'Brachas Kriya Shema. I feel B'Amsa. So Kriya Shema, you only say four things, right?
Right.
So
What's the Ola mean? What is the Ola for?
That's also we have to.
That I don't know. The Olas I'm having, I don't know
okay.
yet.
The
That I
Makatsa
don't know.
understand. The
Okay,
Ola,
I don't know.
but
We're gonna see the word Mishna is on all of these things, so it's gonna hopefully make clearer, right? Let's just finish up the Machaber again, okay?
from where?
Avim lo katzer, if he wasn't a katzer, meaning, what's the Machaber is giving us advice over here, right? You know, is he supposed to be a Mekatzer or he's not Mekatzer, right? I mean, he's giving us advice, you know.
It says it almost sounds like Makatser of Ola is like he's giving you permission to shorten.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a standard nusach, I mean, if he's talking, he's not made didn't mention anything about a kind of sort.
What's machatzer?
To shorten.
Too short. Yeah. Okay.
In low katzer, if he does not shorten it, Yochel Hasa Kederach Shemafsik Bracha Shel Kriya Shema, you can interrupt the same way you interrupt during the brachas. There's Kriya Shema, excuse me, I feel Be'emsa Bracha. I feel Be'emsa, which means in the middle of the bracha.
Well, that's why or the emser of your takanuni, meaning I'll ask for the shoes and then I'll get back to the capital like later. Let's see the Mishnah Berura. Okay, it's confusing enough so far. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, I still have no idea what you guys are arguing
I
about.
want you guys to come back tomorrow.
I don't even
That's
know what
why.
you're talking- I don't even know what you're talking about.
What don't
Get
you,
all the answers.
what don't you understand?
I have no idea what y'all's
Where's the
issue.
What's going on?
Bring a sitter. Bring a
What's
sitter and
going
I'll
on?
show you.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Here.
Okay.
You finish Magasha.
Right.
Then you say this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We say it twice.
Ah.
Okay, this verse here, we say it twice. Some people only say it once here.
Okay.
The question is if you can talk between here and here. Between here, if you say it twice, then you say this, and here you can always start answering Baruch Hu Shmo and number Amen.
So you're saying when do I finish
That's
Shmona
right.
Esrei? Here or here?
And
That's
if you
the
say
basic question.
if you say it once, okay. But even according to those who only say it once over here, okay. So the Ramah brings down that even if you don't say, you don't have this verse here. So he says even you, so you can still answer over here according to the Ashkenaz.
If you've gotten there, even if you haven't said
Because
it.
if you don't say it, if you only say it once, according to the people who only say it once here, that gentleman is one of those guilty persons, okay?
Well, I said once at the end.
At the end, that's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
you can still say, you can still answer after Elokai before you. You can answer here. According to the Sephardi one, you have to say this before you answer.
Before
you
you
didn't
answer.
say that. So the question was here. So because he says an exception, maybe you didn't say this, and he's telling you to answer. That was my argument.
Okay.
We're arguing that if you get saying this, you have to say this.
Okay.
They did say that in the book.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right. I'm back in the ballgame. That's for you, buddy. I just made you a plate. Enjoy. It's a breakfast here, man. Have some breakfast.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's take a look
Any
at
ketchup?
Mr. Bush.
Thank you,
Ketchup.
Sorry.
Sharper dummy. So let's just recap the Machaber again. The Machaber said, "Im bala hafsik lonos kadosh kedusha bein shmonesh le'riyot son." Ain't a posik. The Machaber says, if you're in a situation where you have to answer kadosh kedusha and you haven't said yehid ratzon, but you're at the end of your Shmon Esrei, before you said the Yidro Atzon, you're not supposed to stop to answer Kaddish Kedusha. Shehidro Atzon Michlal Hatfilihu. That is the end, and it's part of your Shmona Esrei. So you're forbidden to answer things. Avu Bein Yidro Atzon to the Tzar Takanunim, between the Yidro Atzon to the other supplications you might want to add on, Shaper Dami. It's very good. What's very good? Mishna Berura.
Shaper Dami?
Yeah.
Hainu Demutter, there it is permitted. Afilu Anos Stam Amen. To even answer for any Amen. I guess this is the other brachas in Shmona Esrei temple.
Yeah, like the shots is he's beginning of Shmoy.
I'm not so sure it means all amens because the next two words, the next three words is going to say
yes.
Right.
Hold on. This is again. This could be according to the Mechaber, right? This could be. Let's see what the Mishnah is going to do with it.
The Kol Shkein Amen Hakel Kadosh Vich Shemei Tefillah, which is the end of the first three brachas, the end of the request. The Amen Yehi. The Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Kedusha Baruch Hu, and you can also answer at these points.
Right. So according to this, at this point, if you've said your Hiddur Otzon and you're in the middle of your Tachanunim, right?
So what does it mean? Afilu Stam Amen.
Yes,
If he's bringing in Kakela Kadosh Shemei Tefillah Yehi Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba. Why would he say?
He specifies when you for sure say you can answer.
The first three, and Shemei Tefillah is the end of the...
No, but he's saying here.
He says,
Hayet Gemutar, Afilu Lanut Stam Amen.
Afilu these specific ones which you would expect to be.
And then he goes into the all for sure. Akela Kadosh. If you can say Stam Amen, you for sure can say the other ones.
Yeah. See this. Look at the chart. See, this is a Taz and a Prima Godin, right? So really, to understand, sometimes you don't get the full dimension of what the Mishnah Berura is referring to until you see the Meforshim, which the Mishnah Berura is quoting. He's really summarizing and quoting the Taz and the Prima Godin, which the Prima Godin is a commentary on the Taz.
Right.
So you have actually you have four dimensions here. You have the Mechaber, that's one dimension, that's right. Then you have the Taz, that's the second, because he's the main commentary on the Shulchan Aruch. Then you have the Prima Godin, which is a commentary on the Taz, and now you have the Mishnah Berura coming and giving commentary on all three previous commentaries. Right, to understand the full understanding of what you really have to study it all. I'm serious. That's the way you hear it.
Who's the Ramah?
The Ramah is in the Mechaber there. You have the bold print, and you have the more fine, smaller print. So the smaller print is the Rav Moshe Isserles, right? That also lived at the same time as the Beis Yosef, the Mechaber, and he at the same time was writing his own Shulchan Aruch, right? But when the Beis Yosef had printed his Shulchan Aruch, so the Ramah, instead of printing a second individual Shulchan Aruch, right? He thought best that he would interject his footnotes into the Shulchan Aruch rather than having two separate Shulchan Aruchs, rather than have it combined into one.
Yosef Isserles?
Moshe. If you take a look at the first page in your Mishnah Berura over there,
Reish Mem Aleph, Rabbi Moshe Isserles.
Okay, Reish Mem Aleph.
Which is Ramah.
Okay, gotcha. Thank
Rabbi
you.
Moshe Isserles.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not so
you have
stupid.
the first page, is the title page.
Yes.
Says Mishnah Berura.
Yes.
Mishnah Berura. Then you have Shulchan Aruch or Chaim.
Yes.
And then the name is Yosef Kairoi.
Right.
And then under there Moshe Isserles.
Thank you. Yasher Koach.
Okay. Look here.
All right, so we're making progress here.
Sorry I had such a hard time understanding this part.
We're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods.
We haven't answered any
Any questions? No questions. Everything's been answered. We're getting deeper and deeper into the
We
forest.
just have more questions. We don't come with the answers, we come with more questions.
All right, let's continue. So the obvious question is, if he says it's mutter, are you obligated? Mutter means it's permitted. Are you obligated to answer amen? That's another question. Are you obligated? You're in your Taknumi and the shots is going straight through Shemona Esrei. You have to stop your Taknumi to answer amen. It says it's mutter to answer amen. Don't know, right? And then I feel stam amen, right? Even if someone's next to you is putting on his tefillin, right? Yeah.
But again, what Amram says, if stam amen means what we think it means, amen to anything, then the fact that he brings down the case of the ones he gives are we don't say for sure you can do those. It's the other ones that are the issue.
That,
You
right.
would see. You would think it would say. I mean,
You
maybe
can-
Shiraba da 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 da. The Kosher Kane Stama me.
Okay.
Right.
That's what you would. That's
Right,
the thing you would think it would
Because again,
say.
we don't know the background. It could be that the Taz makes a difference between these, and the Prima Gunner might come and say something different, and Mr. Brewer trying to make
Because it
a
says here,
conglomeration. Yeah.
Krishma, you can't say Stama names. We learned in Krishma you can only answer the four things.
Mhm.
So that understand. So let's read the
We'll-
rest of
we'll-
it. Let's read the rest of it so we
Let's
can get
continue.
here.
Continue.
Okay. Where am I up to?
Aha,
The Messiah,
Messiah, Sofa
the
Sif.
Sofa Sif, and that we finish the Sif with Kederich Mafsikin Birchas
I
Kriyashma.
mean, that's what he said. Meaning, that was the end of the mihu, right? The mihu, a person who says tachanunim, right? He should be katzir ba'oiler, right? And he could make a break like he makes for Brikas Shema.
Visham Enu Mutter L'Sayim Omein. And there, it is not allowed to say Omein.
Right. So that's he's asking a
Enu Mutter
question.
L'Sayim. There you can't answer Stam Omein.
Right. The vav hey aleph vaha. That's the beginning of a question, and that was said at the end of the sif when he says derek shemafsik b'birkas kriyishma v'sham eina mutila stam amein. So what are you going to do with that?
The Knal B'Simen Sif Samach Vav, Gut Sin Sif Vav, Sham Halu Are Berogil Lomer Taknun. This is where the people who are knowing to say their minig is to
Right.
say Taknun.
Over there, he's talking about, meaning at the end of the sif, is that not talking about a person who's rugil, accustomed to say tachanunim? Meaning, the first part of this mechaber person is not saying any tachanunim, right? Although he says, I will bain shar, the mechaber said, bain yidrotzon l'shar tachanunim, mashma person is saying tachanunim, but maybe he's not rugil to say tachanunim. This week he happens to need new shoes, it's raining, he needs boots, right? So he never asked for anything from Hashem, right? But this week he needs boots, so he's asking Hashem he should go to find a good pair of boots in the store, right? But he's not ruggled to say tachanunim.
Al Kain Asaum Olav Keva Vidamyan Kitsas Shmon Esrei.
Okay, so this is very important. Al Kain, when a person who's ruggled to say tachanunim, right?
That's part of this right?
Al Kain Asim, it's becoming to him like it's keva. It's like becoming part, a fixed aspect of his Shmona Esrei, and it's Dimim Kitsas Shmona Esrei, and it's now becoming somewhat similar to Kol Shmona Esrei, which is going to make it even worse. Because if it's going to be Shmona Esrei, why should he be able to mopsik in it? In Shmona Esrei, it can't be mopsik, so it's making it worse. Still don't understand.
What's mopsy?
Stop.
Interrupt.
Interrupt.
Interruption.
Hefsek.
Mopsik.
Mopsik, hefsek, same
That's
word.
it.
Same word.
Hefsik and
What do you think?
mopsik.
What's the switch to the lights?
We call it a mopsik.
Mopsik, hefsek is the same
It's
word.
the same short.
It's the same
Same
source,
source.
same root, same
Same
root.
root. Right.
Pei Samach Kuf.
Okay. And what's the Hebrew word for obligation?
Chiyuv.
Chiyuv.
Chayav
Chayav.
and chiyuv is the same.
Chayav
It's just a
and
different
chiyuv.
it's a different conjugation.
Thank you.
Let's see.
So there he says, since it's a person who is rugil, is accustomed to say tachanunim, it's becoming part of his standard Shmona Esrei. So then why should that be any better? That's the question. But Reisha, okay, the Reisha is talking about. Go ahead.
Beginning, Iri B'mi Shirogel Lomer Leprokim. And this is in the beginning. He's talking about somebody who normally Lomer Prokim.
Intermediately, meaning he only says it sometimes. The first part of the Machaber is someone who says it's tachanunim sometimes. The second part of the Machaber is someone who says it all the time. Right? So a
Okay.
person who says it all the time, the tachanunim become part of his Shmona Esrei. Right? The person who says it only sometimes, so therefore what? Al Kain.
Al Kain Ein Lahem Dimyun l'shmona esrei does not become part of his shmona esrei. It's not like his shmona esrei.
Right, if the only time he asks,
at all.
right, meaning he's only time today he needs boots, right, so he asks for boots. When he gets his boots, he stops asking for boots. When he needs his car in a couple of months, he'll ask for a car, but between that he'd ask for nothing. So that doesn't become part of his Shmona Esrei.
No, but I want to understand this clearly according to the books.
Yeah.
We're talking here about Lakai Nitzor, right? That's what we're talking here.
No. He didn't mention anything about, because that would be careful. That's a standard nusach. That's something from the Gemara. We're not getting to Elikai Nitzor yet. According to the Mechaber,
We just asked.
if you notice, the Mechaber didn't mention anything about those two words Elikai Nitzor. That was the Ramah added that. So the Mechaber never mentioned
That's right,
anything about
Shmona
Elikai
Esrei, Yud
Right.
Right. Okay, go on.
Because of this, Seinu she'elokai nitzur ragil hakol la'anu. Therefore, in our country, in our regions, elokai nitzur, everybody says it.
Right, in our regions, according to this, in our regions, the Elikai Nitzor is normally said by everybody.
This is the Mishna Berura.
Mishna Berura.
Mishna Berura is saying everybody says elokai nitzur. Sounds like the Sfardim didn't say it.
I've heard people, but most people say it.
Yeah, right.
In the books it says it, but
But it could be at
that's
one
right.
point, it wasn't common in the beginning, and it has become
I have to look at my antique
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
In my more later editions, it does have it. In my early editions, I have to look it up.
Yeah, okay. Ein lahafsik bo l'sayim l'stam amein. You do not, therefore, you don't answer for stam amein, bein kodem shetchilo bein be'emsa, whether you're in the beginning or in the middle of takanunim, I guess.
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop, and we're gonna have to go over this again
You think?
tomorrow.